show on Florida Man Radio on the app. If you're anywhere around Central Florida and Georgia, all over the world checking this out, or anywhere in the world checking this out, we appreciate you joining us. But we got something that's kind of disgusting, disturbing, sad, mad, all the emotions that you could ask for are in this one story. And Heather brought it to my attention. I didn't even know about this. I am a father of 8. Just want to throw that out there. Heather has multitude of kids.
Only 3.
Only 3. So from a parent, and I lost my brother, just so everybody knows. So I know what it's like to see your parents go through the death of a sibling. Um, and I almost lost one of my daughters at birth. And by these great big arms I have and knocking the doctor out of the way, and it's a long story, we actually to save her, and she was able to come out of the womb, but she actually got stuck coming out. Long story short, I know what it's like to almost lose a child and watch her turn blue and almost die. And I know what it's like to watch my parents go through the loss of their son, my brother who died. No one back then, and there was no social media back then, right, in those days, but the only things we got from people in our community, our neighborhoods, our areas, people that knew us, was remorse, sadness, comfort, love, compassion, and things happened. My brother died in an accident, and my daughter almost didn't make it. But and these may be a little bit different circumstances, but where does humanity stop and barbarism? Is that the right word? Barbarism? Like,
Barbaricism? I'm not sure. It stops at social media.
Is that what has happened to humanity? Social media has taken us backwards to I don't know the right word, but a barbaric time when
we are able to hide. So, like all those opinions that we kind of cringe at and don't speak in public, we let them out because we're no longer afraid.
But okay, all right, and I want to get to the story so you understand what we're talking about. Heather got this story. I'm gonna let her tell you about it. It's a tragic accident that happened, um, and nothing can be done about it. No matter what we say or what we do, the baby can't come back. But I'm gonna let Heather fill you in on the details of this story, and then we're gonna have an open discussion about it. If you're on uh, the TikTok or the YouTube or whatever, feel free to comment. We'll see those comments at some point, and maybe we'll open is it a thread? A discussion.
A discussion. Yeah, sure.
All right, go ahead.
So basically, on July 4th, a young family, mom, dad, 2 little kids, age 3 and age 4 months, went out on Lake Havasu to enjoy the 4th of July, whatever festivities they were banking on. And the heat got up to 120 degrees and the baby died. And there was a heat advisory. I don't know when that was released. That's not mentioned in the article, if it was the day before, that morning, or that afternoon. I mean, that does make a difference. But the baby died, and people are posting. I saw it on social media. I saw this on Facebook. And people are saying that the parents are terrible people. They're saying really hateful, horrible things. They should roast in hell. They should get the death penalty because they killed their baby. Just like horrible, horrible, mean things.
Yes, and some of the comments on there are saying things like, "Oh, you're just as bad as a parent who leaves their child in the car and goes into the mall, goes into a store for several hours with the windows all rolled up." You know, they're calling them murderers. They're saying they should rot in hell. They should burn in hell. There should be no mercy. There was actually even a GoFundMe account set up to help with, everything that goes into burying a child and the loss and hospital bills.
And it got up to $50,000, and then it was shut down. I don't know if the people who organized it put a pause on it, or if all the backlash made
Facebook or whoever does it.
GoFundMe people say, hold on, maybe we need to not let this through until we've investigated it further.
Oh, so GoFundMe is not a Facebook thing?
No.
Oh, I always thought it was a Facebook thing. You just see it on Facebook.
You just see it.
So you see it on other social media platforms.
Right.
When people do the GoFundMes. Okay, I never knew how that worked, but how sad. I'm trying to think of the right words to say, because I don't want to be a guy that says I hate you for hating it, but I'm going to hate you. But it's almost disgusting and heartbreaking, because first of all, nobody was on that boat but the family.
Right.
Nobody knows what happened, and all we know, and this is what this is what I was telling Heather when she told me about this story. I grew up in South Florida on Lake Okeechobee and on the Rim Canal and the Hillsborough, you name it. We went out to Riviera to the ocean, and we went in the Intercoastal, and I did not come from a boating family, okay? But my brother-in-law is a boater. That's what he does. Everywhere he goes, that boat is attached to the back of his Suburban or whatever he drives, Mountaineer or whatever it is. But I knew people growing up that were boaters. That's what they did. Every weekend, every holiday, every Sunday after church, they got on the boat. The whole family went out there. They had their drinks, their coolers, their fishing bait, or if they were just going out to play and ride on rafts and jet ski and get kneeboard and all the stuff you do on a boat. And what if this was a boating family? They've been out on the boat 100 times before, and boating families don't leave their babies at home. They take their children with them. Just like when you go camping, you take your family camping.
Right.
Or if you go to SeaWorld or to Walt Disney World, you take your family with you.
Right.
Nowhere in the story did it imply anywhere, and this is what bothers me. There's so much implication from all these idiots on social media because nowhere in the story did it imply or actually give evidence that the family got off the boat and went to like a water bar or a dive bar, or they were out just swimming and they left this poor little baby alone on a boat for 9 hours.
And that was some of the comments. People saying, well, the parents went swimming and went and got drunk and left the baby on the boat. I didn't read that anywhere. And I've read like 14 different articles about the same thing, and they all say the same thing.
And so far in the police report, the coroner's report, none of that comes up. It's just the baby suffered heat exhaustion and then later died from heat complications. It even talks about when the family realized the baby was unconscious, they immediately stopped, rushed it to the hospital, and began life-saving, techniques to try to save the baby's life. So put yourself in those shoes, right? Heather, you're a mom.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Like I don't want to say what you said to me personally, or maybe we can't say it. Do you believe? Yeah, let's talk about it. Okay. Do you think that will there be people for all these idiots on social media if this mom or dad commits suicide?
I mean, all the hate that they're getting. I mean, I ended up posting a comment, and I'll read that and then tell you what some of the people responded beyond that. But if I was that parent that just suffered like the worst thing possible in their entire freaking life, the worst thing, you cannot tell me there's anything worse than losing your child. I'm just appalled by the way people acted. And what I wrote on a couple public forums that had posted this, and they didn't, have a whole bunch of caption to it. They're just like, "Oh my gosh, what are your thoughts?" Obviously, fishing for some meanness there.
Right.
I wrote that all the hateful comments are really disappointing, and anyone that thinks that a parent doesn't feel that the parents don't feel guilt, they're delusional. Parents make mistakes every day. There's no handbook. Unfortunately, these parents will have to live with their mistake forever. Sometimes we forget that making mistakes is human. And I'm sure that there are harsher words out there that you could bestow upon the family that are not already. There are no harder words that you could tell this family than what they've already heard or what they're already telling themselves. So if being nasty to them makes your day better, then I hope you have the day you deserve. And
you almost got crucified for it.
I did.
I shouldn't laugh. I'm laughing because that's the only thing I could use to wrap my head around it. But the people that took the time to respond to Heather,
there's like 70 of them in this one post. I mean,
we can't read all 70 of them, but go pick out a couple and just so people understand what we're talking about.
Well, and they're also doxing me now. They're like, well, we saw there's a picture on your profile page and your child's cooling down the pool and you wouldn't have left your child alone. This is ridiculous. And other people are posting my profile page.
Are you serious?
Right there. Yeah, I'm very serious.
People are pulling up your post and bringing you into this.
Yeah, it's simply because I told them, look, stop being a dick.
Yeah, you stood up for a family.
This family's already suffering. They're suffering. What are your opinions really going to matter to them?
And the thing of it is God forbid it was gross negligence. All right, because there is a difference. Listen, there's a difference between saying, man, we looked at the weather report. It was supposed to be sunny, maybe some overcast. We know it's going to be hot. It's the middle of the summer, but it's 4th of July. There's 9,000 other boats out there on the water, and we always go out on the boat, and we take precautions. So I had a lot of questions when Heather brought this to me. Was it a flat boat with no cover? Was it a speedboat? Was it a skiing boat? Was it a fishing boat? Was it a party pontoon boat with, they put the big covers over them? There's a lot of scenarios that go into it. But if you're not a boating family, obviously these people they own a boat. They live on the lake. They went to the lake. It was a planned extradition. Who are you to even comment? Like, who are you to inject your opinion into the life of somebody else, especially when they lost their child? Have some freaking humanity.
And they know they played a part in that.
Some of those dirty responses people were sending you.
Okay. I mean, the parents are aware. They know that they shouldn't have taken. I mean, after the fact.
Right.
But some of the people are like, I personally hope that they feel guilt for the rest of their life. You don't have to be a genius not to take a poor baby outside on the lake for hours, no brain between the parents. Really? Really? You don't even know these parents. I mean,
Right.
as we were talking to Mama Morris, a
Right.
little bit
Yes.
ago, she's like, well, what if the accident had been that the baby rolled off the boat, you know, or crawled off the boat? Because I mean, babies move. Um, and if the baby had died then, would they have been like, oh my gosh, you neglectful parents taking your kid out on a boat? I mean, accidents happen.
Yeah. Like all the, think about, and I'm not, listen, I am going to bat for these parents based on the information we have from the police report and from the incident and from everything that happened. It was just a tragic accident. They went out, they were having fun. How many times have you gone and done something?
Well, here's another. I make mistakes daily. None of them are mistakes that would kill my child. The dad is a cop. He should know better. Is he not human?
Right. And do you know how easy it is to lose track of time? Like, for instance, you were here the other day when Julian and Aurora came back from a beach day.
Oh, were they at the beach?
Remember the day
I didn't realize they were at the beach.
When Julian walked in, he was redder than the color red, and he was sunburned from head to toe, and he could hardly move. I think it was a week or two ago he walked in on us.
Maybe that was it.
And he's 14, and he went to the beach with his friends and his older sister. And
you're such a terrible parent for letting your child turn into a lobster.
I understand, sunburn and death are two different things. But what the moral of the story, the reason I'm telling this part is how many of us go out to do something and just forget about time. You're having a great time. It's a great day. You're taking care of your family. And then in the midst of all that, you're like, oh, wow, the baby's starting to turn flush and it's not responding.
But we don't even know that. We don't know if they went out that morning and lost track of time, or if they went out at 4:45 and at 5:51 when they decided the baby was hurt.
Right. It could have been an
That's when
response.
They immediately went to get help. We don't know these things, and not that matters. This is not isn't our lane.
Yes, you said it exactly. I guess the reason, okay, so the main reason we're bringing this up on Between the Ribs is we're a family show. We're about farm, faith, family, in the future. Obviously, this family has lost part of its future, lost part of its family. They may even start questioning their faith. And when all they have is society fails them and turns on them.
Bullies
them, and causes more pain and suffering. This is not a family. Okay, so this is a cop. This is a law enforcement officer that does public service. And he lost his child. And that may be why he's not in most of the articles. He may be in on some undercover work or different projects that he can't do.
I didn't find his name anywhere. But that mom, oh my gosh, that mom should go to hell, apparently.
She's probably taking the brunt because depending on what he does in Arizona, he's probably on a no-call list or no prop list. We have people in our family that work for the military that they're not on social media. You can't find them. They don't have, your numbers are nowhere.
Okay.
So that may be why his name's left out of the report, to protect any cases he's working on or whatever. But it's not about accidents that could happen. Like, you could die playing basketball in your backyard. You could go out on a camping trip and accidentally fall into the fire or get eaten by a bear overnight. Things happen. I guess the reason we're bringing it to you is if you're listening to our show and you're listening to our message, be part of the problem. I mean, be part of the solution, not the problem.
There's enough people being the problem. You don't have to go out there and...
Yes. Whatever happened to... scroll past it. Like, you see a story, you don't like it.
Well, you can't scroll past this one. But you don't have to insert yourself.
Right. You don't have to be. Yeah. What was that grandma used to say? And we had different grandmas, obviously. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Oh, the thumper theorem.
And there's a time and a place in our society. I'm going to wrap this up with this. Shut up. Shut up. There's a time and a place right now in our society. People need to learn to shut up. Stop being mean. Stop being rude. And shut up.
And I hope these parents don't do anything dramatic to themselves from all this bullying and hate from this horrible, horrible accident.
Yes. All right, so let us know what you think. We're going to have some posts out there on social media. Feel free to comment. We'll respond. Open engagement. Cut it.
Okay, sorry.
You still recording?
Yeah. And we're still recording here, so we're still technically live.
Well, we were at 14:50. That's a segment. I did that on purpose, though. So you edit that, how you get that first segment out, and then now we'll go into our next story.
All right. And that can be saved as a best of.
Well, not only that, that's something. Well, is there any social media platform where you use word only without video? Well, I guess we have it on video. Because I'll let you finish that.
7, 11, 12, 13. Okay. No, you can keep, unless you want to.
Well, what I'm getting at is nowhere in there did we say other than the beginning, letting people know where they can find our show. So this is something you can post on X for me if you wanted to, or
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah, you can post this everywhere. And I don't know if you want to wait till Saturday to post it, or if you want to post it Friday night. I don't care.
Oh,
I
yeah,
did
look
that.
at
You see how I did that on
there. I
purpose? And when I
see.
stopped talking, I stopped
All
talking.
right. Let's go into the second segment.
And this one, if you want to record a visual, you can, but you don't have to. We can just go on the radio.
Yeah.
We go in the radio
I
mode.
need to get this so that I can post your other thing.
Do you want to do John Deere in a video? I know.
No, I think that's going to be too long.
Yeah, let's just
I mean, we've got this.
All right, that's perfect. That's good. You're right. That's good.
Okay, ready?
What is this? A 12 and a half?
No, this is 14 or 15 as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait,
Oh,
how much was that? How long
the
was
last one was
that?
1450. Unless you clip some of it.
Well, yeah, I had to clip the 3, 2, 1. 1450. Okay. So yeah, aim for 14.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that no more. But how tragic it is to be in that situation, and our prayers and thoughts are with the family. It's unimaginable if you've never lost life that close to your DNA structure, for lack of a better word. I know people lose people all the time, but there's just something about it when it's yours, your little baby, your child, your son, your daughter, your mom, your sister. It's just different. And it's kind of weird. There's no way to segue into this. There's absolutely no way to transfer from that to this, except for loss and loss. But we all know what happened with Tractor Supply a while back, and they got caught in the crosshairs of go woke, go broke. Unfortunately, they realized their lesson. They learned very rapidly after a $2 million loss in sales, and they flipped. They came back to what you would call like a good center point, recognized their customer base, recognized the error of their ways, and the reason I'm bringing this back up is because we're going to talk about John Deere, but this is my problem with the situation. When you do something on a conservative Christian Republican side, if you will, for lack of a better word, and I know there's people out there that are like, not every good deed is wrapped up in conservative Republican Christian. I get that. I understand. I'm talking to Todd. No, that's my buddy. He always says me stuff about being a good person and having moralities on different levels, and I love it. So I'm just messing with you, Todd. I love you, buddy. But for lack of a better word, to define a good deed or a good type of people in that scenario, and that's probably a very poor way to say it, but I have no other way to say it. If we make a statement on our side, hey, we spend money at this place, and we don't like what you're doing with your money as a company, and we're going to make a stand on you, we're called right-wing conspiracy crazies, haters. We're called Magnas. We're called Nazis. We're called every name under the book. Correct, Heather?
Yeah.
And they actually try to judge, hate, and cast shame on us for saying, hey, we spend millions of dollars as a group of people in this company, and we just found out that you're giving millions of dollars away to things we don't morally, ethically, whatever, physically agree with. But that makes us bad people for using our voice and our money. However, and earlier I referenced that baker up, I don't know, it was a long time ago, when they, and I think it was a setup, because how do you go in, who goes in to order a cake with a camera already rolling, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like they went in to set that guy up, but they went into a known Christian establishment and asked to have a big gay cake made with two gay people on the cake, and the guy simply refused their business. And it went viral, I guess, that's the name of the word. And they were like, shut these people down, boycott their shop. The whole cancel culture came alive. When they do that, it's almost like not Bruce Willis. What's the guy that did Passion of the Christ? Mel Gibson. It's almost like Mel Gibson in Braveheart when he's on the horse. Freedom! Like they're making this moral stance, this hill they're going to die on. They're doing this great deed, robbing the king to pay the poor people. Like it's an act of heroism when they boycott or cancel somebody. Same thing happened with Morgan Wallen, and I could go on and on and on about all the.
Yeah, but he's got a mullet. He deserved it. Continue.
To be honest with you, I did. Listen, I don't understand all of today's country. I grew up on rock and country and gospel and a mix of everything. So I like some people like the Tom McDonalds and different people, but some of this new country, like I don't even know who the artists are.
Yeah, it's okay.
I had never heard of Morgan Wallen before he hollered at somebody, yo, the N word off the balcony and got canceled. I didn't know who he was. But now everybody knows who he is. So it kind of flipped on him. But where I'm going with this is John Deere rapidly made a switch. They came back and said, hey, guys, we're sorry we disrespected you. We're sorry we were giving over information to the government for human why aren't you helping me with my words today?
Monetization? I don't know.
How do you, the word if you're monitoring people in a group?
Monitoring? Like a moderator?
It's that simple. Human monitoring information. Meaning they have these great, and guys, let me warn you about, don't let me forget. It's not in my notes. I brainwashed. On today's show, I want to talk about the dangers of how convenient convenience is. We'll get to that in the second hour. Man, I'm glad I just did this to remind myself. I don't even know what I did with those notes. But anyways, the dangers of how convenient convenience is. All these companies, and I don't think they started out with bad intentions about the rewards program. Right? When it first started, it was like one or two places like Dunkin' Donuts. Hey, man, your 70 cups free or your 10 cups free. It's innocent. It's cool. They give you a little card. You punch your card, right?
Loyalty.
Or like at a truck stop, you go in there and you got your trucker thing and you get 9 fill-ups of diesel. You get a free shower. Like there's different rewards that started out non-aggressive, non-monitoring. And now, you got the 7-Elevens and you got Chick-fil-A and you got it doesn't matter, everywhere. My son informed me, and I'm very disappointed in him. Because he's a 6'6" phenom, 238 pounds. He's shredded like the Incredible Hulk. Yeah. And he comes in last night and goes, hey, Dad, the youth group's going to McDonald's. Can I go? And I was like, dude, I don't have a job right now. I don't have any money. I haven't had cash on me in 42 days. Okay? And that is weird.
And but everything's running smooth.
Yeah, we got so much money now. Amy's like, man, our savings account's through the roof now that you're not out spending money. So I was like, you got to talk to your mom. She handles the money right now. He's like, no, I'm good, Dad. I got $10,000. I got 10,000 McDonald's points. I can get a free meal today. I was like, you got how many points?
How many meals did he have before that?
That's my question. And what is he doing with all that? Because he looks like a phenom. But anyways, everywhere you go, they have reward. Put in your phone number or put in your email. And you're like, oh, they love me. They want to give me my 9th cup of coffee for free. So I put in my phone number, or they're going to give me 8% off or 3% off of my gas, or the inner circle at the Circle K or whatever, the Tom Thumb. Tom Thumb has up in Fort Walton. We don't have Tom Thumbs down here, but Tom Thumb has a reward program. All these reward programs.
I mean, if you're going to shop there anyways, it's nice to have them so that you get free stuff.
Okay, but here's the problem. Now they want your phone number, your email.
Well, you give them a number off, a digit off, and you just give them a fake email, like something at Yahoo.
Okay, so you're smarter than the rest of the world. So but here's the problem with it. Let's circle back in. I'm really working on staying focused from now on the show. Tractor Supply was selling our information to the government, to humanitarian programs.
The government already has our information.
I know, but do you understand? Like there are groups out there that are on behalf of the people, for the betterment of all the people, for the security and the equal of all. We would ask these big companies, "Hey, we'll give you a tax break if you share with us your customer list." Oh, it happens. It happens, Heather.
I'm sure.
So Tractor Supply was not only giving our information for whatever commercial break they were getting, they were also investing or divesting, whatever it's called, in minor gender surgeries, youth pride parades. And
were they actually into the surgeries, or was it just like education about
No, they were
them?
putting money up to support the rights for minors to get surgery without asking their parents.
Okay.
All right. It's when you dig past, like, of course, the liberal media just wants us to look bad. So like, oh man, these redneck farmers don't want kids to have choices. No, we don't mind kids having choices. Hey, what do you want to drink? You want Kool-Aid or water? But kids should not be able to go behind their parents' back.
Peanut butter and jelly or ham and cheese.
Right. Kids should not be able to go behind their parents' back and get their tallywhack walked off or their whatever sewed up shut. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. You shouldn't be allowed to do it at all but you definitely should not be allowed to do it without your parents' consent when you're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. And it wasn't teen or young adult; it was minor. It was kids. All right. So Tractor Supply did a lot of things to let us down. They quickly recanted. They got back on track immediately. The NCAAP, the National Black People Association, or whatever it's called. What's the thing?
National Association of African American People.
What? Yeah, I thought it was colored or something.
Oh, National Colored. Okay,
I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. People like Al Sharpton, or he's the Reverend Great Al Sharpton, and all the other people that are in those circles of profiting off of black people. And I said that I'm trying to learn not to pop my piece, so I'm working on that. Shannon taught me how to.
Well, sit closer too.
Oh, sit closer and turn my head sideways and let it roll off my tongue.
Okay,
All right,
as long as you're close enough.
I shouldn't have told you about my homework assignment. But anyways, these people, they manipulate and profit off of minorities, off of black people. They don't care no more about black people than the leader of the KKK.
National Association of the Advancement of Colored People.
I don't have time to derail, but I have a hilarious story about colored people from my brother-in-law who's blacker than the black of spades. Like he's not, some African American people, black people, they have different shades of like dark and brown and this
caramel,
and that.
chocolate.
Right. And then you got some that are they're blacker than dirt. And I don't understand how that pigmentation. I'm not a doctor. I don't understand how pigmentation works.
You're just a white cracker.
Just a honky. I'm a dirty old honky is what he calls me. But well, we might as well get into it. He told me this story one day when we first met.
This is Uncle Tony?
Yes, it's Uncle Tony. So we were out hunting, and I can't tell you what we were hunting because it's illegal. I don't think the statute of limitations. I was out of season.
Was it those sandhill cranes?
That was actually an alligator. This is a long time ago, and he had never seen a gun before. Like a real gun up close and personal. He's seen it in the streets and whatever, and he grew up in the hood in Orlando, he tells me. So we're riding around in my pickup truck. We're out on the farm. We're on 400,000 acres of sugarcane, riding around. And there's this gator over on the side of the ditch bank. And he's like, man, give me that gun. Because I had the gun on the back rack. This is back in the old days when you had guns hanging on the back window of your truck.
Right.
He's like, let me have that gun. I'm going to shoot me a gator. I said, all right, if the game warden comes, it's your gator. He's like, man, come on, man. That's how he talks. And I was like, all right, dude, do whatever. So he takes the gun, and he shoots at the gator. And if you've ever shot at anything, when it knows it's being shot at, it rapidly moves because it knows it's being shot at.
Right.
He missed that gator so bad, that gator didn't budge. It didn't know it was being shot at. That's how bad he missed it. So I was like, man, give me that gun. So I laid the gun out across his nose. The barrel was far enough away from his face that I knew he wasn't in danger. And it was a lever action 410. So it wasn't a very big gun. And it's one bullet at a time. So there was no discharge. He was in no danger, and I knew that, but he didn't. So I laid the gun over, and I said, be still. I need your nose to rest the barrel so I don't miss. And there's no kick or anything on that little 410. So I laid that gun out there, and I just took a shot. And he's like, man, I can't believe you did that. You almost killed me, man. You honky out here got me in the woods, could kill me. And I was like, man, calm down, man. I was like, you just changed 3 shades of color. Right? So he's like, yeah. He's like, I really didn't because black people don't change. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, let me tell you a story. Make sure we're going to be all right as brother-in-laws. He's like, y'all call us colored people. He's like, but when I was born, I was black. When I get cold, I'm black. When I get hot, I'm black. When I die, I'm still going to be black. He's like, when you were born, you either beat-ass red or blue.
Yep, my babies were pink.
He's like, yeah. He's like, when you go out in the sun, you get red. When you get cold, you turn light white and blue. He said, when you get mad, your face turns red.
I have seen black people blush.
I don't ruin Tony's story. So at the moral of the story, at the end, after he took me through my entire life cycle of being white, and I'm not a normal white guy. I'm black Irish to begin with. So I don't do all that. Like, I don't have the different colors. Like, I'm always toned I'm just the way God made me. I go out in the sun for 10 hours and people are like, wow, you're dark. Yeah, I'm dark. I'm bronze. But I don't sunburn. I don't know. I don't change colors a lot. But anyways, he's like, y'all got the audacity to call us colored when y'all got more colors than we got. So who are the colored people? Honkies or black people?
I mean, flesh was always a color in the crayon box, so I always thought I was a color.
Flesh is a color?
It used to be. I'm sure it's not now.
Do they got cracker white in there?
No.
It's
called saltine.
Saltine. They got black. All right, we got to get back to the story. So immediately, the people who promote and manipulate and make money off of black people and minorities came to life, and they tried to crucify Tractor Supply. That now Tractor Supply caved to the white honkies, rednecks, racists, magnas, and they want justice for their people. Thank God Tractor Supply did not cave to that, and they are maintaining their course. So now, apparently John Deere, and apparently John Deere's been at it for a while. They did not learn from Tractor Supply's mistakes. They they have their own DEI problems, their trans problems, their pride problems. And again, to most farmers, to most downright normal American people, we don't care who you sleep with. We don't care who you don't sleep with, if you know what I'm saying. We don't care what you do. Don't put it in our face. Don't shove it in our face. And don't take our money to pay for your lifestyle. If you want to live that way, go live that way and be happy and be satisfied. The whole world don't have to know about it. And you don't have to take money from farm programs and money from people. All right. And I'm going to get into this when we get back. But isn't it convenient that John Deere went from having one of their greatest years to now they're on the verge of laying off 1,600 jobs?
Ooh.
We'll be right back. Between the ribs. So whenever I'm talking, I don't mind interruptions and talking over a little bit. I look at your mouth. That's kind of wrong. But I watch your mouth sometimes when I'm talking to see if you're going to try to start talking. And I'll pause. So if you have something you just want to get out, just feel free to start.
Okay.
And I'll stop.
Okay.
And if I don't stop, that means I don't want to hear what you're saying. I'm just
Okay, you need to be closer to your mic, though. I mean, you don't have to be too amazingly close. But,
how about right now? How about this?
Let's see. Go ahead and talk.
How's this sound right here? Is this a better spot?
I think so.
All right. Can you turn up the last two segments? Or am I...
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, just try to keep it level.
Okay.
And we'll be fine. Yeah, because I can adjust it. You ready?
Yes, hang on 1 second.
Actually.
How long is this one?
12 and a half.
All right. Well, that's good.
Hold on. Civilian federal roles are the highest ever.
Oh, where'd you get that from? I love it. Oh, yes.
That ain't right. Do we really want bigger government? Hold on. Because that's all that's happening here. Can't believe I didn't know what NAACP was. Can't believe I forgot that, man. Smaller government, please. Okay.
What did you just do? What was that? What are you drawing lines?
That's just swiping, dude. And in fact, hold on, because I've got...
It knew what you were swiping? The word?
Yeah. Copy. Paste. Okay. Location. I'm able to add organic meats to every single post.
Oh, beautiful. What about More Friendly Farms? Does that give you an option to that one too? I think Amy may be able to add. I don't know how it works. I know some of them she can add to and some of them she can't.
I could add the other one.
Yeah, More Friendly Farms is where we have our 9,000 followers. So that one is really banging. Organic meats only have about 2,700
so no,
people.
I was meaning as far as location.
Oh, sweet.
Oops, right there.
Oh, you know what's cool? It gave me an option of between the ribs. You were at Organic Meats so many times you can give them a shout out or whatever. So I did. About, yeah, Happy Dance, I like this place. And I had somebody say, oh, who's that? Why do you like them? I was like, oh, it's this cool butcher shop in Lake Mary. And they also sell veggies and all kind of homemade stuff. You should check them out. And then like 3 other people from Florida Man Radio hit me up there like, dude, that was the slickest marketing I've ever seen in my life.
When did this happen?
Yesterday. So somebody I've never heard of before, some Zoe, some Bo, I don't know the guy's name, but some guy.
So funny.
And he was wanting to know. He's like, why do you like this place? And who are they? And so I responded as if I didn't know. Like if I didn't work there.
Or own the place.
And then I had like 3 people text me privately from Florida, man, that follow us. And like, dude, that was the best marketing I've ever seen in my life. They were like, that was nice. How did you plan that? I was like, no, I didn't plan it. It happened, so I
It
ran
just
with it.
happened.
And if it comes out that I'm the owner, I'm not.
I mean, you didn't tell you
Well,
didn't say
actually, I'm
anything
not the owner.
wrong.
On paper, when we
It's your dad?
when we just redid everything, we made Amy and my dad. I don't know nothing. I'm unemployed. I did that on purpose because I didn't know what's going to go on my knees and surgery and debt, just different things. I didn't want nothing attached. So right now, I don't. I'm on paper. I'm off everything. I don't know
Oh,
anything. My dad and Amy on
that's
everything.
really smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if I get sued, we were talking about Jonathan, man. You
No,
can
this
start.
is all still
Amy's
live.
like, huh?
We're all still live on this.
On who?
On YouTube.
Oh, that's nice. So if I get sued if I get sued for saying something really bad, they can't go after my family's business because I'm no longer in the family business. I don't even work there. I'm not even an employee there anymore.
I mean, you haven't been there in weeks, so
52 days to be exact.
wow. All right, let's go. 12 and a half.
We're on YouTube right now?
Yeah.
Boom, Bostic. Anybody following us yet?
Oh, no.
YouTube in the house. I put my meat in your mouth. Man, I look thick. Look at that. I don't even work out.
Okay. Yeah, you lift half cows. Most
Joe
people
Rogan,
don't do that.
Joe Rogan ain't got nothing on me.
Let's go.
I need a sponsor. I need like a protein shake
Jonathan.
sponsor. Oh, all right.
3,
Whoop, whoop.
2, 1.
I want that Tom McDonald song, Go Woke, Go Broke, Go do. I don't remember all the words. But
got it noted.
Leslie Hager has come up with a new word, in quotations, square zero. Are you square zero, Heather?
I'm going to say no.
What? You're not down with the square zero? How dare you not be politically correct? Square zero is a term that Leslie Hager, the Vice President of Internal Audit, talks about at John Deere. It is a phrase or a marker that describes the starting point in an employee's personal journey toward educating themselves in understanding the differences inherent in all of us.
Yeah, that's not what Google gave me.
Oh, wait, you mean there's an actual definition for square zero from Google?
It's 0 squared equals 0 times 0 equals 0.
So you're telling me you're crazy? And listen, guys, I say this with all due respect. I have people in my family that are liberals, for lack of a better word, Democrats, independents, Republicans. We have them all throughout the Morris family, married in family, extended family, children, soon to be nieces and nephews. So our entire family is made up of a diverse group. We have black, we have white, we have some others, we have Welsh, we have Irish, we have all kinds of stuff going on inside of our family. And as our children grow up and marry and meet people, they bring people into our fold. So we're very diverse. We are like, we should represent America because we have everything.
Yeah, you do.
All right, we have everything in our family going on. Square zero is another word that actually has a real defining meaning. It is a mathematical, not equation, but it's a mathematical statement about square of zero, right? Square zero, like a root, like a square root, right? That's what it's saying?
Right.
They have taken something that is real and factual and manipulated it for their lean, left, liberal, lollipop. I ran out of L's to say. But it's like, who is this stupid? When you see people commenting about Republicans and conservatives and magmas, but how stupid can you be? And we're going to get to Project 2025, but how stupid are these people? Or let me not say stupid, because maybe they're not stupid. Maybe they're just so narrow-minded and they've been trapped in their echo chamber that they believe everything that gets put out, and they really do at the heart. And this is what the deal is. This is why our country can't change. Because I think on both sides, we're trying to change the opinion of the other person. Because like from where I sit, square zero is a erroneous, absolute, asinine statement to make from a human resource auditor in a corporation. Because square zero does not mean what she's saying it means. Square zero is not the starting point of an employee's personal journey toward educating themselves in understanding the differences inherent in all of us. That is not the definition of square zero. But you would be surprised how many people now are going to use Have you squared zeroed? Have you squared out, Heather? Are you
That is
squared out?
such a dumb phrase.
Hey, did you square zero out yet?
I did not.
What? You're how old and you haven't squared out yet? Psh, when are
I
you
don't
gonna?
talk about my squaring on the radio.
Don't talk about your square on the radio.
Don't talk about your square.
My
Name.
don't touch me there. This is my no square. Wrong square.
I don't know.
My bad. But what I'm getting at is this lady is an auditor, vice president of internal affairs, kind of like human resource, Leslie Hager, for John Deere. If anything, if she was going to adapt the square zero word, right, and apply it to human resources, shouldn't it be the starting point of the growth of an employee at John Deere? Because when you get hired on, they have nothing on you. They just have a paper, they have a resume, maybe somebody called in a reference, and you start work. So why isn't that good enough anymore? Why isn't the starting point of your career just like, hey, Billy or Jilly or Jim or Joe or Joanna or Jasana or whoever, welcome to John Deere. We're glad you're here. Here at John Deere, we treat everybody with respect. And we are a John Deere family building American parts for American people, for American farmers to put in the American workplace. We don't tolerate disrespect, hate, bullying, discrimination. Everybody gets along. Today is your starting day. We will keep up with you, watch you, and hopefully you grow into the John Deere family. Why isn't that the starting point of the file for the employee? Why does it have to be? Did you just pull her up?
I did.
Is she a quack?
I mean,
she's got her hands crossed in that picture. She means business.
Yeah.
Yeah, she ain't been, you know what, in a while.
Don't know.
No, you can tell.
No.
Keep
going.
Does she have an Adam's apple? Is she a man, baby?
No.
Like
that's just a swollen thyroid.
Is that what that is?
I don't know.
Anyways, so John Deere is in the midst of all this right now, and I want to tell you that I'm more disappointed in what they're doing home and abroad. I mean, I'm disappointed in everything, right? So everybody knows who Robbie Starbrook is. He's a big old notorious online influencer. He's taken John Deere to the coals, and he should. So he's given a list of a laundry list of their actions, including funding pride events for children as young as 3 years old, requiring preferred pronouns on all internal communications. And this is what really bothers me. Well, one of the things, John Deere's new energy policies for the Green Deal. So the new Green Deal is a government deal that Horse Teeth, Bartender, AOC put up.
Okay.
And Biden jumped on it. Kamala jumped on it. And the EU, the European nations, they all jumped on it. And they're trying to make it a global initiative. What the hell does John Deere have doing in this government program? They make tractors that fuel's a bad word. They make tractors that allow farmers the ability to tear up ground or mow or disc or clean or harvest or produce crops that feed America. Now, does John Deere have obligation to the environment and to the people? Sure. Put mufflers and filters and different things on your tractor so they put out cleaner exhaust. Sure, no problem. All right? It's bad enough that they went into this DEF system and that they're killing truckers and they're killing tractors drivers with the new DEF. It started out in 2017, and it's the DEF system, and all of it is pig urine. All right? DEF, I don't know, you don't have any diesel trucks, but on my truck out there,
Did you say pig urine?
Yes. Unless you delete them, and I'm not condoning deleting trucks because they have now outlawed it, and it's a $5,000 fine if you do a delete kit on your truck. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you don't, you don't.
I don't.
So in the old days, trucks had a good exhaust on them. They ran diesel. They put the diesel through it. They had a turbo booster on there. The fuel and the exhaust went through. Well, the fuel went through the motor. The exhaust went out the back. Trucks ran like a train. So due to the liberal initiative, they are now, and it started back in 2017, it's called a DEF program, right? And I don't have time to get through all of it because there's a lot of parts on a truck and on semis, and now they're putting them on tractors. But basically, this is what it would relate to as a human being. If you you have two nostrils, right?
Right.
And a mouth. So you put fuel in your mouth, okay? You exhale carbon monoxide. Your body takes the food and the fuel that you give it, and then it poops it out the back.
Right.
That's how it works.
Yes.
So imagine if there was a little tube on the left side of your anal canal connected to your left nostril. And every time you pooped, part of that poop had to go back to your body and be reprocessed before you could poop it out again the second time. How long would you live?
Oh,
Ex-
I don't know.
exactly. That's what they did to diesel trucks under the initiative of climate change and climate this. And it started under the Obama era.
Oh, wait. So they took the exhaust that diesel fuel was producing and put it back through the car?
Yeah, so the exhaust on a diesel,
Huh.
for layman's term, I'm no mechanic, but now it's like a figure eight with an exit. So the exhaust, everything, the byproduct goes out the back, but it's supposed to go through two burner chambers and a filter. Before it hits your exhaust, it goes back through and the motor reuses it twice. They sold it to us. It's like, oh, it's going to be so much better because you get more out of your fuel. No, all it is the dirty particles and all the other stuff that goes through your engine. Now your engine has to have it twice in its system.
And has to clean that out.
Twice. Yes. And if you delete it and put a kit on it so you go back to the old-fashioned diesel motor and you get pulled over, get a ticket, it's $5,000.
Is that something that a cop would notice? Would be able to tell right there?
If you do it properly, no.
Okay.
Right, and I'm not condoning that, but I know a guy. If you do it properly, no, they won't know. But if it's a highway cop, for lack of a better word, a highway patrol who's now DOT. It used to be DOT and state troopers. Now DOT and highway patrol are the same entity. If they know what they're looking for and they want to be anal and do a full inspection on you, yes, there's ways for them to climb up in your truck, climb under your truck, and find out that you deleted things and added things. So, yes, there's a way for an inspection to happen. But just at first glance, if you're not a trained person, you wouldn't be able to know a truck's been deleted or not deleted.
Interesting.
Especially if you leave all the deleted parts where they're supposed to be.
Right.
Bolted on, put a little grease on them. And I'm sorry I got so sidetracked off this.
No, that was interesting. I think we need to know that.
Oh,
We've
good.
got a whole nother hour.
So Human Rights Campaign, HRC, or the Corporate Equity Index, the CEI. Fear not, tractor drivers of America. John Deere scored 95 out of 100. Top score is 100 out of 100. The only reason Tractor Supply did not get a perfect score is because they reportedly do not have separate benefit guide for same-sex marriage employees.
And that kept them from getting what?
So the CEI is your Corporate Equality Index. It's a score. And that score is monitored by the Human Rights Campaign, HRC. See, I'm going somewhere with this.
Yeah, I do.
Because in the next hour, we're going to talk about Project 2025.
Okay.
And how the Democrats and the liberals are using this to cause hate for Republicans and conservatives and Donald Trump. But yet, I want you to look at all these monitoring programs that they have already in place. See, I don't want to give it away too much, but Project 2025 is a wish list. It's not policy. These entities are already embedded into corporate America by government policy and government change. So CEI, Corporate Equality Index, which is governed and scored by the Human Rights Campaign. It ranks companies for their treatment of sexual minorities. That's all it does. We have two operations that bother companies to regulate how they treat sexual minorities.
Okay, but when is anything having to do with sexual anything appropriate for
tractor building?
Or just the workplace? Come on, if you're not in the sex industry, then why does that matter?
Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up because that's all that matters now. Like at Morris Family Farms, we don't care
who's sleeping with who.
You shouldn't. And I really believe one of the biggest mistakes we made to let the toothpaste out of the tube that you can never get back is don't ask, don't tell went away in the Army. See, there was a time when we were like, hey, listen, dude, if you sleep with a dude, you suck a little, in the background, as long as you can shoot that gun and you ain't going to leave me high and dry on the mountainside in Afghanistan, I don't care. Just kill the enemy. I don't care what you do when we're back at the bar.
Right.
Just don't do it with me. Don't ask, don't tell. I won't ask, you don't tell me.
Right.
And then the Army changed that. So when your commander-in-chief and your military starts to break away from a history of policy, keep your sex business, just go train and kill the enemy. Now we got to talk about who you sleep with before we go to the battlefield. Because I don't want to insult you because as I'm yelling to you, Sergeant whoever, to kill the bad guy, I may have to say, sir, ma'am, before you discharge your weapon. Oh. You see what I'm saying? So it's erroneous at every level. Why does Bill Gates and Tractor Supply in the same sentence? We'll be right back. This is Between the Ribs with Jonathan Morris and the lovely Heather Hippopotamus. Are we that segment 3 or segment 2?
That was segment 3.
All right. Man, this is going pretty good.
Yeah.
I like no notes. No notes, no notes, no boats, no notes.
Okay. Next one's ready.
All right.
So this is a new hour. They've had an 8, 9, 10, 11-minute news break. Wait, no, it's normally 8. It might be. That might be where.
This is the break from
Right. I'm just saying, but normally the top of the hour break, if we end at 57:50 and we come back at 6 after, it's like 8 minutes. It's almost an 8-minute break.
Even in the old days?
Even in the old days. So
Okay.
then add on 3 minutes of.
That's why it seems so long.
Yeah, 8, 9, 10. That takes it to 11 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to ask them if they could drop the Fox report because they played at 3 before my show. So when Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins goes off at 2:50 or 2:44 or whatever, they do the whole Fox rundown. And I'm not mad at Fox, but it's like they do the whole Fox rundown.
They may have to.
And then they go into my show, This Between the Ribs with Jonathan Morris, blah, blah, blah. And the show starts, and we do commercial. And then when we break at our third set at 3:54.
57.
No, I think it's 54. It was 54 on my phone.
Oh, okay. No, it's 57:50.
But it was 54 on my phone in real time.
Okay.
It was. I was watching it because I got a text last week about it. So no, listen, on my phone right here, it was 54.
Okay.
And then it didn't come back until 4:09. That's why I got my 15-minute break from, or 16-minute break, because it actually clicked 4:10 by the time I started talking.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
So
then.
no. I just was watching it because I wanted to see was it as bad as everybody was texting me about. Because a lot of people text me, "Hey, what happened to your show? What happened to your show? Why's Fox on? Your show's off." And I was like, "Just remember I texted you last week."
Right.
And then Randy's like, "Just tell them to stay. You're coming back." So that break, I was going to ask does Fox have to do the 4 o'clock? Could they do it at 3 and 5?
Probably not. If they've got to deal with them to do it.
So it's a deal with Fox. Well, can Fox shoot me a couple dollars?
No.
Are we still recording?
Yeah.
Fox, listen, I love you guys a little bit. I like you guys. Some of the stuff you put out is great. Some of the stuff you put out is hogwash, but I'm honest.
Should I hashtag them?
Yeah, hashtag Fox. I mean, look, guys, you're taking up two 10-minute segments of my radio show. Can you throw me $8? Just 10, 12, 9? I mean, or give me 8 minutes once a day. I'll do from 1:52 to 2 a.m. How about that, Fox? Work me in. Between the Ribs. We may be going to Fox.
All right, you ready? Second hour?
Second hour. Here we go. Hey, for everybody on YouTube, thank you. I hope you're enjoying this. I don't know what it looks like on the YouTube. Let me know. Give me some comments, some feedback. And, hey, I'll tell you what. You see these shirts? So Nikki up in Georgia, Soulshine, she makes all of our shirts. We believe in American-made. Are we recording for the show yet?
Not yet, no.
All right. For everybody out on YouTube, we're getting ready to go back for a commercial break. But we believe in American-made, American people, American families. And I'm sorry. I don't care if you live on the other side of the border. I don't care. I care a little bit because I believe in Jesus and all people are under God's umbrella. But my number one focus is putting money into American pockets and American families that support me and support my family and support our show. So Nikki Duncan up in Georgia, and well, I was supposed to do that last week. I forgot. We'll get her information plugged in so you can order shirts.
It's already on the link tree.
Bang that out. You can order 1 shirt, 5 shirts, 100 shirts. So Nikki makes all of our shirts. We the people, Morris Mafia. If you turn around, Heather has one that says Farmer on it. And I believe the one I'm wearing today, Faith.
Oh, yeah, it says Faith.
Can you see it?
It says Faith. Yeah.
So the back, the American flag, and you can get it with or without shoulder embroiderment. You can actually get your name on it if you want to put your name on one side. We have some shirts with our names on the sleeve in different places. So we have all kinds of designs. Nikki makes them. But here's where I'm going with this. Give me some comments, some feedbacks, and if you impress me and you can engage me in a positive, reasonable, educated manner, I'll mail you a free shirt.
All right.
We just ordered 400 of them.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, this is a YouTube special only, though. We're at YouTube right now, right?
Yeah.
So we're doing this for YouTube only. So get with me on YouTube.
Okay, and, I'm trying the Shannon thing where it's – sorry.
I don't like it over there.
Well, I'm trying to say where you talk more into the sides than the front.
Oh.
But it still needs to be within like 2 inches of your mouth.
All right, let me adjust. How about right there?
Perfect.
Is that good now?
That's
I'm all over it like this.
All right. You ready to...
Don't breathe on it.
We've got 14 minutes. We can go to 15 if we get into it. Three, two, one.
So I think it's important to know that CEI and HRC.
Okay, wait, we're gonna stop. It's not. It's not. You're speaking into right there. Push it
Oh,
back farther.
hello, hello.
In fact, even a little bit farther up.
What do I do?
Nothing.
No.
Sure. If you can talk into that.
How's that sound right there? Oh, that sounds better to me. In my ear, anyway.
All right, let's go. Three, two, one.
So now would be a good time to tell everybody we sell meat.
Yes, you
We
do.
made it through the whole hour without promoting our shop.
Oops.
So Organic Meats Boyers Family Farms. We are a local farmer in Central Florida, in the beautiful town of Lake Mary. We are at 101 North Country Club Road, Suite 127, under the big meat sign. We also have banging smoked recipes. We have smoker. We do smoked brisket. We do sausages. We do pulled pork, ribs, carne asada, beef ribs that will blow your mind and make you stutter in front of your husband, right, Heather?
Yeah.
And blush a little bit.
They are very, very, very good.
So we have all that to offer. If you don't live in Lake Mary, we ship anywhere in the United States of America. Like literally, California, Oregon, Washington, Ohio, West Virginia, regular Virginia. We ship everywhere. And so all you got to do, you could go two ways. You could go to organicmeats.com. We have about 5 boxes up there. And I wanted to say this on the Between the Ribs show. And if you're listening on YouTube, you get this offer too. So go to organicmeats.com. We have a Florida Man steak box and we have a Florida Man meat box. Now, you don't have to be a Florida Man person to get this deal. Just click on it. We just titled it under Florida Man because this show right now is being broadcast on the Florida Man Radio app. But what we're doing is, if you put Between the Ribs to support our show, and we know that you listen to Between the Ribs, we're either going to give you a shirt, free homemade sausage, free of some of Mama's jam and jelly that she's making, or a sticker. Like Heather said last week. We're going to give you a prize. We're going to give you something awesome. But the bigger than that, you're saving $40 a box.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's a lot of meat.
So the steak box, the executive steak box, is normally $350.
Woo.
If you get it right now under the Florida Man tag and you put Between the Ribs in it, you're getting it for $250. Dang. Yeah. Oh, wait. $299. Sorry, my brain died. So instead of $350, you're getting it for $299. You're saving $50.
Now, okay, just a question. About how many pounds of meat would you say that is?
I don't know in the steak box off the top of my head, but I will tell you this for fact.
Okay.
You get 2 hand-cut ribeyes, boneless. You get 2 hand-cut fillets. All right. You get 2 hand-cut New York strips. You get 2 prime sirloin. So people are like, what do you mean prime sirloin? Well, when on the sirloin part of the cow, where the roast comes from, is different from where the sirloin steak comes, which is behind the porterhouse. There's a small section of the cow behind the porterhouse that you get a sirloin, which is attached to the tri-tip and the picanha. And it is perfectly marbled. It is as tender as the filet. Okay. So when you go to the grocery store and buy sirloin, you're buying it where they cut it off the roast. And you got to marinate it and cook it thin and call it minute steak and blah, 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 blah. Because the grocery stores are misleading you and they're deceiving you. They're taking a roast product that should be $2.99 or $4.99 or whatever roast sell for at the grocery store, and they're advertising it as a steak, and all they did is cut it. Just like if you ever see those round steaks in the store.
Yeah.
That's eye round. That's a roast, an eye round that they cut real thin, and they call it minute steak or Spanish steak.
But it's so affordable.
Because it's a roast. It's a piece of the cow that should be affordable. So they're not doing you any favor. They're not doing you a solid. They're just lying to you. Well, they're not really lying. They're misrepresenting where that came from.
Well, and we certainly don't know.
Right. And 90% of people in a skillet with salt, pepper, butter,
it's going to taste good.
You can make meat taste good, right?
Yeah.
But in organic meats, you don't have to do that. A little bit of salt and pepper. Our meat is delicious. It's clean. It's healthy. There's no GMOs, no hormones, what are you going to say?
I had my husband add some garlic, the salt and pepper that we do, and then add some garlic. Oh, it was so good.
Yes, Heather's now on the meat train. Heather is on the meat train.
I've always eaten meat.
We used to eat all these meat, and now you're eating organic meats.
True.
And isn't there a difference? You smile different.
Yes.
Now. Your skin color looks different. Your hair is shinier.
All that just there. Because I'm eating good meat.
Bob's like, whoa, we ain't eating no more Jonathan's meat. I don't know where you compliments you on the radio. I love you, Bob. But anyways, So we have that, and then the next coolest thing we have is the Florida Man Meat Box, which is the variety pack box that everybody else gets for $199.
Yes.
And I don't listen. I don't care. All right, if you go there and click on the Florida Man box and you listen to me on YouTube, I'm cool with that. Take advantage of this deal I made with Florida Man and this offer for people on Florida Man. Go click the Florida Man box, and it's 179 instead of 199. And get this, you ready? If you subscribe for a year, the 179 drops to 159.
Now, what happens if during that year you decide you can't keep doing it? What if you have a hardship? Can they call you and be like, "Hey"?
You simply call or text us, and this is how cool we are. You can call and text in February and say, "Hey, don't build this box. I need to skip February." All right, no problem, and I'll send you one in March. Or you can call in February and say, "Hey, listen, I'm not gonna be able to do this again until May. No problem. We'll call you in May." We don't take you out, scratch you, throw your number away. Because once you join us, that's why we're Morris Family Farms Organic Meats. We don't like the word customer. We use extended family.
Right.
And everybody who buys from us and shops with us, they know we treat you like family, and we expect you to treat us like family. And I mean that by saying, if you have a problem with something that happens with us, before you blast us on social media, call us and let us fix it. I guarantee you, if you blast us on social media, I'm still going to fix the problem, maybe dollar for dollar.
But we might talk about you.
No. But if you call me first and say, "Hey, Jonathan, man, I got a bad pound of ground beef," I'll be like, "Hey, listen," and you know what? David can jump on right now and testify this. I'll be like, "You know what? I'm going to send you 6 ribeyes to make up for it. I'm sorry about the bad.
What?
I'm sorry about the bad ground beef."
Can I have some bad ground beef?
We've never underfixed or evenly fixed the problem. We always go over the above. Because here's
You
my
do.
thing. I not only want to fix the problem, I want to make up for the inconvenience, the frustration, the aggravation, and the doubt that it caused you to go through. Because if you open something up from a place and you really don't know them personally yet, and you're like, "Oh man, that chicken was a little warm,"
Then you might not.
you may never call back because you don't
Right.
trust them. Like, how can I trust this guy to feed my family if the meat box showed up and the chicken was a little warm, or it just smelled weird and I didn't understand it? So I tell people, if you're in doubt, throw it out. Call me and let me fix it. I don't care. I don't care if it was FedEx. Listen, we've had things that got shipped, and we paid for the shipping, and then FedEx, for whatever reason, and we use UPS. UPS, for whatever reason, gets it there 2 days late, and the customer calls and says, "Hey, my box finally showed up, and everything's hot, and the ice is melted." Well, of course, it's been gone for 5 days.
Oh,
And they're like, "Well, what are we
no.
going to do?" "You're going to do nothing. I'm mailing you another box tomorrow morning." I eat that, right?
Not literally, but yes.
I don't say to you, "Man, it's not my fault. You got to call UPS to get your $199 back."
Now, do you, because it is a large item that you have to, I'm sure you have to have it insured, right, when you
So
send it?
we have them insured, but here's the problem. And I don't know if I should say this on the radio, but I am. If you ever get a hot box again, please step on it and crush the box and take a picture of it. UPS, unfortunately, does not do insurance on warm. So if UPS, because ever since COVID, they don't guarantee shipping no more, even though you paid for guaranteed shipping. So if you pay for
What?
2 days shipping, go read the Home Depot.
No, I
Read
mean, I believe you.
UPS actually has a clause that 2 day shipping could go up to 5 days.
What? That's crazy.
But in our experience, and that's why we ship on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. If you ship on a Thursday, that's when you get in trouble. But normally, if you ship on a Tuesday or Wednesday, everybody has it Thursday or Friday. So that's why we have our shipping days the way we have them. But yes, we've had a couple times where the boxes either got lost or it sat in a warehouse or something, and it finally shows up, and we send a picture to the UPS rep, and he's like, "Well, nothing's damaged. How can you prove that the customer just didn't let it sit out until it got hot? You know, or how can you prove that you didn't put the right? I mean, there's so much stuff. So the only way we get any of our money back is if the box is crushed. So step on it and take a picture.
But y'all don't have to do that very often
No.
because the packaging is so perfect and
No. So listen, real quick, I got to get back to this because
yes.
there's a couple things I want to cover before the show's over today. But MorganicMeats.com or Morris Family Farms Organic Meats in Lake Mary, the number, call or text 407-402-5686. That's 407-402-5686. Also, if you're listening in the Georgia area, we will be up Saturday the 20th and Sunday the 21st. Get your orders in, 407-402-5686, or go on Organic Meats, click on a box that you want to buy, and in the comments put pick up in Georgia, and I will bring that to you. We are doing a Fort Walton trip. Amy and I talked. We don't know what day it is. It will be before the end of July. It may be the last weekend in July. We'll keep you posted. But if you're in Fort Walton, start getting your orders together because we will be up there the last week in July just to make a quick trip. We got to run up to get supplies from the Magna place. And while we're there, we might as well meet you, shake your hand, give you a hug. You can see my new knee, and I can put some meat in your mouth. All right, back to people who are supposed to do things to put stuff in your mouth. John Deere, they have tractors and harvesters and combines, cultivators, tillers, mowers, rollers, you name it, sprayers, applicators. They build it, right? And it used to be American built. Now, I don't know if this is a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. But Bill Gates, who is buying up more farmland than any other person other than like Blackwater, is now the largest shareholder of John Deere. You want me to repeat that?
Yeah.
Bill Gates is now the company's biggest shareholder, John Deere Corporation.
What does he need tractors for?
To destroy them and make them quit getting built. So Bill Gates, when he started buying up farmland up in Dakota and different parts of the West and North, everybody was like, oh, wow, look at this guy branching out and securing our land so, the Chinese can't buy it up and yada, yada, yada. But what Bill Gates was actually doing, and he's in the process of doing it now, that if he buys land that you have a grazing right on, and in Florida, we don't understand that because you drive by somebody's property and you see cows fenced in on 20 acres or 100 acres or 50 acres or whatever. Same thing in South Georgia and Alabama. But out west, up north, Wyoming, Dakota, places like that, cows still roam freely. And believe it or not, even though people are like grass-fed, 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 most cows in America are grass-fed for most of their life. The problem is when they take them in off the open range and stick them in a feedlot for 120 days to put in all the hormones and the steroids and the stuff that they go through to get them ready for market. But what Bill Gates is doing up north and out west is he's buying up these old farms that used to rotate hay and potatoes and different things, watermelons, and the cows would go out and graze and eat the leftover crops or eat the weed, and they would just graze. So we'll just leave it at that. So the farmers did not, or I'm sorry, the ranchers did not necessarily own all the land. And that's why all cows out west are either ear tagged or branded, because you may go out to a 200-acre spot and there may be 40 different ranchers' cows out there at the same time.
Oh, that's crazy. How do they separate them?
They brand them.
I mean, I know they're branded, but how
about cowboys on horses? They go through and they look for their brand, and they work their cows with dogs and whips and different things that they do, and they work the cows with the horses, and they get them back over to their area when it's time to separate them. And most ranchers, most ranchers out there, they don't have their bulls intermingling with the heifers and the grazes because they may not want their bull breeding somebody else's cow, and, or all the cows out there are either already bred. So if there is a bull out there, there ain't nobody for him to breed because they're not going into heat. So there's a lot to get into. But long story short, Bill Gates is buying up all the cow land, and then he's canceling the grazing rights. So now you have all these cattlemen, all these ranchers that have all these cows, and they don't have enough grass for them on their property. So they count on grazing rights to be able to let cows go out and graze. And then September 28th, I believe, the September 28th or October 28th is the deadline to get all your cows off of the public land and get it back into your own barns, in your own stables, and your own fences, right?
Do people ever steal each other's cows?
No, not. You'll get killed for it. It's a criminal act.
Okay.
Yeah, they still hang horse thieves and cow thieves out there. There's a lot to Yellowstone, that movie, that show on Netflix or whatever.
Yeah, I have not watched
There's a lot of that is real.
Whoa.
Some of it's fictional, or fictional, but some of that stuff is real. You'll get shot messing with people's livestock.
Okay.
All right, and you'll get buried on their farm. And legally, it's legal. If you come on my fence, if you come across my fence, even here in Lake Marion, Florida, if you cross,
that's just a castle law.
If you cross my fence and you're messing with my animals, my livestock, my farm, I have the right to kill you dead on my property. Now, I got to kill you inside my property. But you're not allowed to come.
If you jump the fence, I'm dragging your ass back in.
I'm allowed to protect my property and my livestock and my business of raising animals, and I'll just lie and be like, hey, he was humping one of my cows, man.
Ew.
No, I wouldn't do that. But Bill Gates now owns a majority of John Deere. Is it no coincidence that John Deere's in the process of massive layoffs? I call BS to that. It's not layoffs. It's transference. It's taking jobs. Do we have time?
You've got about a minute.
All right. So the liberal left makes fun of us because we say we don't want illegals taking our jobs, and they're like, illegals don't take your jobs. You're just a bunch of paranoid, racist white people. Well, guess what, guys? Tractor Supply just laid off 1,600 people in America in one of their factories out west. But guess what they're doing? They're opening a factory to employ 1,600 people in Mexico. So are we crazy when we say we don't want illegal Mexicans or illegal Hondurans or illegal anybody taking our jobs, and that the American workforce is not like they'll tell us, oh, well, you got to start working in technology because the economy's going and the workforce is going to technology. No, there's still a lot of manual jobs that are available. It's just these American asshole companies are being allowed to send them to Mexico. And that's why I agree with Donald Trump and his tariffs on foreign countries, sending products back to America. Between the ribs of Jonathan Morris, we'll be right back.
Is that my phone?
Yes.
Keep going. Ugh. Okay, guys, stop texting. I bet I can put myself to sleep. Okay. Ready. Three.
Oh, go ahead.
2, 1.
So when people, and it's mostly on the left, guys, and the crazy people, but when they talk about Donald Trump and his tariffs on products being imported into the United States of America to help pay the bills, cut down debt, and get some money back in our economy, they all try to package it as if he's a racist, he's an authoritarian, he doesn't play well on the world stage, he's going to kill the American economy. But no, Donald Trump is a realistic person, right? I don't know the right way to say that. A realistic?
Realistic.
He's realistic.
Yeah.
All right. So he sees what's happening. So let me just riddle you this real quick. If companies like Coca-Cola, John Deere, Walmart, Sam's Clubs, and I could go on and on and on, would honor their commitment to the American people, honor their commitment to the American government, keep their factories open, keep the jobs in the U.S. of A., there would be no need for extra tariffs on foreign imported goods because you would have thousands and thousands, if not millions of employees in America working for American companies, paying American taxes, buying American products at American stores from American people. But when the loopholes in the government laws allow places like Walmart, Coca-Cola, John Deere to close their factories in America, move them to Mexico or to Singapore or to wherever else they move them to, reopen them, employ people at half the rate. You understand the in America, and I understand there's a difference of money, right? But in America, what we make in an hour, some Mexicans don't make in a day. All right. Now I understand there's a trade out, right, on the American dollar versus the peso. Okay, did I say it right, peso?
Yes.
That is why there's such an influx of Mexicans and Hondurans and Guatemalans that come up and pick fruit and do construction and do landscaping, and they come up on seasonal visas, temporary visas, work visas, migrant I think it's H1. Don't quote me on it, but there's a program.
Oh, that HV. That program where they can come over legally and work.
Yes, okay. And they're not citizens, they're not residents, they're not even applying for it, but they're allowed to come over under an American company, and that American company has to make sure they got provisions and housing arrangements, laundry, food, necessities, medical. That company is responsible for them and their whereabouts. And then when they get done with their job, they have to go back to Mexico. That's just the way it works. There's nothing wrong with that program. Okay, I don't see anything wrong with that program. And when they tell us we're bad people because we stand up and we want to fight for American jobs for American people, and they call us racist and bigots, they're not right. They're wrong. We are only fighting for what is ours. The American miner, the American, and when I say miner, I don't mean kid, I mean like you're in the mines, mining. The American factory worker, the American steel mill worker, the American truck driver, the American farmer, the American plower, the American whatever you want to call it, right? Their jobs are being done away with because these companies, as long as they have a point in the United States of America, they can ship the majority of their manufacturing to another country and still remain trademarked US of A. And it's crap because you think in your mind, I'm buying from John Deere. I'm buying from Tractor Supply. These are American countries.
Made American.
Made in
in
America.
America.
But then you realize they're not. They're made in Singapore. They're made in Asia. They're made in India. They're made in Mexico. These companies are double downing. They're laying off employees in America. So that means not only do they no longer pay American wages, they don't pay American benefits. They don't pay into, you ready for this? The SSI and the
I was going to say Social Security and Medicaid. They're not paying.
Yes. Yeah. So right now, everybody in our family is pretty much is family. We're all family. So, and I don't have more. I don't have I don't have enough employees that I had to do the workman's comp and all this stuff. So as a family, we do what they call a draw, and I pay all the taxes. Amy actually, as a business owner, pays all the taxes, and then all the kids that get money from the store is taking a draw, and then we got our deal worked out. So I don't have to do that. But back when I had a payroll system, and I had 15 or 16 people employed, if I was paying you $20 an hour, it actually cost me about 32 to 33 an hour because I have to match all your stuff. So I have to match, and not only do I have to have workman's comp and the other stuff that you don't pay, but I have to match your FICA, your Medicaid, your Social Security. I have to match all that.
I did not know that. Is that every business?
Every business in America. It's the law.
Whoa.
And that's why a lot of people complain about their salary. And they're like, well, they only pay me $20 an hour. Yeah, but he's actually having to pay 32. So take your salary in half, right? So 20 minus 10 is 10. And then there's like an extra $2 or $3 there for the workman's comp and some of the liability insurance. So it's just over half of what they have to add in. So if they're paying you 20,
they should really tell us this, because then when they shortchange us, we would at least be a little more understanding.
You would understand why. So you'd be like, well, why do they only pay me $20 an hour? I'm worth more. Well, yeah, I'm paying you actually 32 because it cost me 32 to pay you 20, right? Which I think is wrong. I don't think employers should have to pay that much. I really don't. I really don't. But I also don't think that the employee should be taxed more. But look at this real quick. We'll just go into this circle. If the government took the pressure off of the company, all right, because everything's done by percentage. All right, taxes are done by percentage. If the government took the pressure off the employer and said, hey, listen, we're going to back off everything you have to match, but we want you to make us a promise. You're not going to put that money in your pocket. You're going to give it back to your employees. So now they come in and say, hey, have the hippopotamus, government just gave me a break. So now instead of paying you 20, I can pay you 26. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. Now, he's still going to have to pay some stuff. So that's why he can't give you the whole 32, okay? So he's still got some stuff he has to pay, administrative fees and this and that, and all the stuff that the government makes him pay. There's employee tax, there's all kinds of stuff. But he's like, you know what? They gave me a break on half of it, so I'm going to give that to you, bring you up to 26. Well, your taxes are going to go up. Your FICA is going to go up. Your Social Security is going to go up because your pay went up.
Right.
So the government's still going to get their money, but people are going to be happier. Companies aren't going to be as stressed out, and it's going to create a more enjoyable workforce for everybody because you got more money in your pocket. So you're like, man, I know I'm paying an extra $9 a week, but I ain't worried about it. I'm making an extra $6 an hour. The company's like, man, we're saving, this tax bracket and this tax burden. They still get to write it off because they're not putting in their pocket as profit. They're still paying you, so they still get the tax write-off. But now that's less bureaucratic oversight.
Wow. Okay, I never want to own a business.
And I don't know if we'll get to it today. We did a couple videos about the trim party that I'm introducing, and it's because it's time for a trim. More than 4 million people work for the federal government now. It was at 3 million last year. It's almost up to 4 million, and Joe Biden's adding like another 116,000 jobs. It was 82,000. Then he vowed to put 11,000 on top of that, and then there's a 3.6 increase. So even though they lie about inflation, they lie about how many people they're adding. The federal government is bigger now than it's ever been. It's actually now surpassed how big it was during World War II. And that's per percentage of population, right? There were less people back then, but the percentage of the population was crazy because of the war and the amount of people that had to go to work to help America stay alive for the war. But as soon as the war was over, All those people went back to their homes, back to their normal lives. Anyways, um, 1,600 jobs have been laid off. It started May 31st of this year. It's going to go through August 30th this year. The John Deere company, and this is what I have my biggest problem with, other than messing with kids. John Deere is a staple in American production. They are a staple of our history, and they have sold us out for profits, gain, and tax reduction. And then you have people like Joe Biden and the liberals and that kid I talk about that I do on Facebook every once in a while. Well, if the 1% started paying their taxes, if the millionaires and the billionaires started paying their taxes, we need blah, 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 more tax to rich, more tax to rich. But Joe Biden's policies and Obama's policies are the ones that are allowing these companies to move their production out of the United States of America. And then you ready for this? Sell it back to us at American dollar. So John Deere is not selling their tractors in Mexico now. You can't go down to Mexico and see a bunch of John Deere tractors just rolling through the fields. These tractors are being put on trucks and put on barges and being brought back into the United States of America, and they're being put on lots in South Alabama, South Northwest Georgia, South Georgia, North Florida, South Florida, Indiana, Kentucky, Idaho. I can name all the 52 states that rhyme. So when you're a farmer and you don't have somebody like Jonathan Morris telling you the stuff that you don't know, you walk into your local John Deere factory, your local John Deere dealership, and you're like, man, I need me an 8200. And if you don't know what that is, that's a tractor. And you buy it assuming that Bobby, who's running the tractor supply, who's been there for 35 years, and the mechanic in the back who services the John Deere, you buy it under the assumption that you're buying a locally produced John Deere tractor for your farm, that you're in that same town with them, and that's why you buy from them.
Yeah, totally weird for John
So
Deere to do this.
it's not just John Deere; it's Tractor
I
Supply,
mean,
it's
yeah.
everybody. Now, do you blame the president of our country? Well, he's not the president right now, but Donald Trump saw all this. He knew all this, and he's like, "Oh, okay, y'all want to do some nasty stuff to the American people? Well, guess what? Everything now that comes in from China, comes in from Mexico, y'all going to pay a tariff on it. We're going to get our money back." So all he's doing is getting back the money that we are rightfully due, because those productions should have been produced in America by American people. So those companies, John Deere, Tractor Supply, Walmart, all these big companies, they have taken, they have robbed, they have stolen from the American people. And all Trump's doing is saying, you're going to give me some of it back. Now, unfortunately, Trump can't give it to the people who lost their jobs, because the president just can't be out writing checks for 15,000 people that lost their jobs in a factory. So that part of the problem we can't fix, and I don't know how to fix that part of the problem, but I know it's disgusting. And here I want to tie this into this: the erroneousness or the disgustingness of this. Last week we talked about the Biden administration put $375 million into total rural farming renewables. So why did John Deere leave? Why does Tractor Supply have stuff produced in other countries? And I won't pick on John Deere. You have Kubota, you have Farmall, you have New Holland. There's a bunch of other tractors out there that are
Yeah,
made.
but for someone who doesn't do farming stuff, when somebody mentions farmers and tractors, John
Nothing
Deere is
runs
what I
like
think about it.
Nothing runs like a deer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing runs like a deer. Oh, they should change their slogan because they're so woke. Nothing pumps like a queer. Was that bad of me?
Yeah,
YouTube
probably.
just took my show down, didn't they? Please don't take my show down, YouTube. That was educational purposes only. It was just an advertising, portfolio. But $375 million for rural funding, right, from the Biden administration. But yet, I want to read you this. Oh, also, remember they said inflation's not bad and the economy's doing great and everybody's doing fantastic. And there's a report out, and I had a discussion with a lady on Facebook about that Biden is a better president for farmers than Trump was, and that the net profits on farms are higher under Biden than they are under Trump. And I explained to her that that was a misconstrued number and it was a blatant lie. Okay? This is a quote from the director of sales at John Deere, and let's see, and then also from an economics professor at Iowa State. This is Peter Orazine. All right. I'm going to start right here. John Deere experienced rising stock prices and record highs in 2023, but was already projecting that 2024 was going to become troublesome, and they were already seeing that the reentrenchments of the terms and policies were going to affect farms and farm incomes, and that was going to have an adverse effect on their business and their sales, thus preparing them for the third quarter of 2024. 1,600 layoffs and moving one of their main manufacturers down to Mexico. Despite they made a $7 million profit last year in 2023.
Because they were in Mexico, or that
No,
was
no.
before moving to Mexico?
They're saying 2023 was the last good year they had, that the economy has finally caught up with farmers, and everybody that they have in their economic department is telling them farmers can no longer buy our tractors. So we will see what happens in 2025. Did John Deere go to Mexico to make a cheaper tractor to help farmers buy tractors that are less expensive? Or did they go to Mexico to increase their profits? I'll let you be the judge of that. Between the Ribs with Jonathan Morris, we'll be right back. Well, I wrapped that up nice.
Yeah.
All right, is that it? We got one more.
We got one more.
All right. Is this sounding okay?
I think so.
All right, let's go into 2025 project.
So that sounds. Oh, you don't have to. I mean, compared to the others that we've done, this is
No, and it
safe.
gives us more space. We're open.
Yeah, and we're not on.
All up on each other with my bed in the background.
That's weird. All right.
All right, let me real quick. I won't make this whole segment. I'll use the bathroom.
Yep, go for it.
Oh, and I gotta stand up straight. Oh, hang on, I don't want to break you.
You won't break
I'm a little
me.
heavy in the bottom. Oh, my knee. Ooh. Oh, sweet boy. Ooh. Come on. All right, come on.
Oh, my ear hurts. So now another person chimed in. They're like, "Oh, but the baby was bleeding from their ears. They killed their baby. It was neglect."
On our video.
Wait, no. This. They were too busy drinking in the water to even worry about their 4-month-old who was bleeding from her ears. Where does it say that?
I didn't. Ask them, do you have facts on that? No, yeah, maybe not.
No, I'm not even engaging.
Yeah, maybe you should stop that engagement process.
Yep. I said my piece. I don't need to defend it.
What kind of chair do you want in the studio?
I don't care.
I'm buying me a gamer chair. Like Julian, I bought one for JJ. It looks like you're driving an airplane.
Yep.
It's very comfortable. It kind of reclines a little bit, but not too much. But it helps me sit up. I don't know if you wanted one of those. You just want a stool.
I'm fine anywhere.
Well, we had the chairs that Amy got, and that'll be most of our podcast. But Maybe that chair will go behind your station. Yeah.
I'm easy going.
Easy like a, oh, it's time for a song. Easy like a Sunday morning. Heather said, I'm easy going, easy like a Sunday morning. I'll sit on anything you buy me. A wicker chair, a wood chair, a round chair, a brown chair, a black chair, piano stool, recliner chair, gaming chair. Easy like a Sunday morning. Brought to you by Marsh Farms.
Easy.
We the people.
How long was number 5? 1409.
How long are we
Okay.
going?
12.
Can you pull up when Designated Survivor started to make sure it started in 2017? Just real quick. I don't want to misquote myself.
2016.
Huh?
Oh. I like Kiefer Sutherland.
You got to get into that.
He's cute.
Okay. Sorry, Bob. Amy has her people too. Her radio.
Oh, no. See, my people are dead. Heath Ledger and Paul Walker. I have a type apparently. Can you see that?
Then it doesn't match that guy.
He's a tall blonde with blue eyes.
Not tall. And he's not blonde. He's more doughy.
Whatever.
But he's doing a great job as president.
What?
Oh, he's the president of the United States of America in that video.
It's really good in Young Guns. I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
That was the best movie ever made.
Can we get back to the show?
Yes. It was a good movie though, wasn't it? Did you see Young Guns?
Yes, I did. Okay. Have you seen anything Gina Davis made?
Thelma and Louise.
And out of respect for my wife.
Wait. Fried Green Tomatoes. Yeah.
Yeah, the baseball movie.
Field of Dreams.
No.
No.
Ain't no crying in baseball during the war when the women had to take over the baseball league.
That wasn't. A League of Their Own.
Yes.
Yeah, it was in my head. I was thinking that, and I saw
Field
her.
of Dreams is Kevin Costner.
Right. Totally different.
If you build it, they will come.
All right.
That's why I started my butcher shop.
You built it, and they came.
If you build it, they will come.
All right. 2016 Designated Survivor.
All right, I just wanted to make sure.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah. What are we going here? 12.
12.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
So my advice to all the companies that are American companies: be American, stay American. But how about this? How about stay in your lane?
Yeah.
I said this last week. Excuse me. If you build tractors, build tractors. If you sell parts, sell parts. If you mow grass, mow grass. Do what you do. Provide for your customers. Now, listen, I'm all for opinions. If you got an opinion about something and you have a platform because you build a business, I'm not mad at you for saying, hey, man, I believe this. Great. I will not stop shopping with you, or not. I will not support you. Is that right? I will not support you just because you disagree with me. I'm cool with that. I actually have this new thing, and if I disappointed anybody, I don't care. Or if I make you mad, I don't care. I am no longer Jonathan Morris. Between the Ribs will no longer be painted into the box of Democrat, Republican, or Independent. That is not what identifies me. There is so much more to me as a person and my family and my mom and dad and the way we were raised and the way we worship our God. I no longer choose to be painted into that box. I actually started the trim party. I don't know if you've caught any of my videos. It's time for a trim. You can catch that on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, right?
And Instagram.
Yeah. If you haven't seen that, my proposal, of course, I'm president. I'll have to select a vice president. But the trim party, it's time for a trim. And I don't say this. I'm going to get into the story about Project 2025. So I'm not saying this in a violent, hostile takeover manner. Please don't misquote me. But it is time for a radical change in our country. Both sides, left, right, have gone too far. It's the old analogy of you're going down the road and there's a ditch on both sides of the road. Which ditch is the best ditch to be in? Neither, especially if they're full of water and alligators. You want to be up on the road. We have gotten so far manipulated. And I honestly believe that. I honestly believe that years ago, most people were normal. They had common sense. They had cool heads. And yeah, you had some crazies. But people could at least talk it out, work it out, figure it out. But we live in a world now where Washington has imposed itself on us. Now, I read this post about July 4th. Isn't it ironic that we, in 1776, we had a revolution to get under the rule of a king to only be ruled by kings. And it makes sense. We have allowed ourselves to let the government get out of control. But here's the problem. Now they're manipulating the way we think. Okay, and I'm not going to get to convenience today. I'll do that on next show, or I'll do a between the ribs video, and we'll post it on social media because that's a pretty cool thing I want to go over. But I want to get in this project 2025, and the reason I do. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I wasn't going to. Go ahead.
Just breathing hard.
Yep.
The reason I want to get into it is because of the misconception and the lies behind it. And BBC put out a report, and I know you'll be like, oh, BBC. I'm going to read from BBC because I think it's important. All right, that from their writers, producers, this is their take on Project 2025. And it's astonishing because if you go on social media or if you go to liberal left media, news outlets, whatever, they're using Project 2025 to scare, intimidate, and anger a group of people in America. They're actually even going after what you would call more liberal or more laid-back conservative Republicans. And they're saying, look what they want to do. They want an authoritarian government. They want to give all power to the president. They want to ban all the books in the schools. They want to do away with discount lunches in schools. And they want to do away with this. And they're trying to take control, and they're trying to eliminate the three branches of government and consolidate it all under the president. None of that is true. I just read it today. I read 2025. I read the whole thing. And I'm a normal human being with common sense. Do you know, Heather, the very first paragraph of the article, right? It tells you Project 2025 is a wish list written and comprised of a think tank of 100 people inside or around the Republican Party. Now, think tanks have been going back since Ronald Reagan, okay, on both sides, Democrat and Republican. And it's something that started with Ronald Reagan, where a group of people would say, hey, if you're going to be our candidate and if you're going to be president, these are things we would like to see. So a think tank is almost like a brainstorm session. You ever just sat around and brainstorm with people?
Yeah, of course.
And you get blank sheets of paper or you get a whiteboard and you're like, all right, we got to fix a project, right? The backyard's underwater. What do we do? Check the water hose. Check the main line. Dig up the yard. You're just throwing stuff on the board. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go out and dig up your backyard, but somebody in the group just threw that on the board. It's a wish list, an idea list of things that you think that maybe could help fix our country.
Just a brainstorming session.
That's all it is. Okay.
But we're taking it so serious, like it's going to happen.
It's 900 pages.
Oh.
Okay.
Even Brody didn't like that.
Yeah, Brody didn't even like it. It was created by the Heritage Foundation. It's a think tank, 900 pages. They said it was spearheaded by the Donald Trump administration. Well, that's not true. But there are people from the Department of Education and the Department of this and the Department of that that used to be in the cabinets in different parts of the Republican Party administration when Trump was in office that are part of the Heritage Foundation. And they are part of the think tank people sitting at a round table throwing out ideas. All right? Now, out of the 900 pages, there's only a one-paragraph quote from Donald Trump. This is the BBC now, okay? This is its box.
Did he authorize it?
Yes.
Okay.
He authorized this quote to be used. 900 pages of a wish list, think tank ideology of what they would like to see if they got their guy in the White House. Okay, 900 pages of it.
Sounds like a child's Christmas wish list.
Yes, thank you for saying that. Yes, my wife tells the kids, you may not get everything on the list, but if it ain't on the list, how does Santa know we need it?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So and that's what Christmas is about. That was the best analogy you'd use. Be creative, dream, imagine. Because remember, I told you, America was built on a whisper, on an idea, just like free Greece and free Rome before they were destroyed from within. America is this idea of a whisper, a dream, of freedom, a society where every voice is represented. So this is a Republican conservative think tank. So, of course, they're Republican conservative ideas because it's a conservative Republican think tank.
That makes sense.
All right. So Project 2025 is not policy. It's not in the presidential plan of Donald Trump. All right. And out of 900 pages, they took a quote from Donald Trump on this response. He said, I know nothing about Project 2025. Okay. I have no idea who is behind it. I disagree with some of the things they are saying, and some of the things they are saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal.
Abysmal, yes.
And abysmal. So, from Donald Trump's mouth and also on social media, he is publicly saying, I don't agree with everything they're saying. And yeah, there may be some good things in there that they're saying, but I don't agree with all this. This is just a group of people that are bringing me something that said, hey, if we back you and we support you, here's some things we would like to see happen. Okay? Now, here's where I have a big question at. Huge question. Oh, did I lose it? Oh, my goodness. I wanted to go over, oh, my goodness. Keep me focused. Say something cool until I find it.
Or just pause and finish finding it, and then we come back.
Okay. I can't believe I lost this. So the Project 2025 document, I had to scroll and find this. This is from the document. Okay, this is what they are saying. So when I say something really bad, Heather, can you elbow me, punch me, or say,
Yes.
whoa, that was really bad?
Happy to.
Okay. The Project 2025 document has four main goals or four main policy aims. Number one, restore the family as the centerpiece of American life. Number two, dismantle the administrative state that we are now under. I'll explain that if you don't know what that means. Number three, defend the nation's sovereignty and its borders.
I mean, aren't we supposed to be doing that anyway?
Yeah. Number four, secure the God given individual rights to live freely for all. Is that bad?
No, all those seem normal.
How
Like, I don't even know if those are party line things. They seem like they should be just American things.
Exactly. And this is the problem we live in. And this is why I think we need a third, fourth, fifth party. I don't know the answer. I'm not a politician, but I'm willing to run if somebody's got some money because we need people representing people. The thing on our shirt, this was no accident. We the people, Morris Mafia. We didn't pick this because, let's find something on the back of somebody's pickup truck that we can steal. We the people is something that we came up with our own idea because the government is out of control. The government spending, the government budget, the jobs are adding to the government. Guys, we are one day going to be a complete administrative state. What this project is saying about eliminate the administrative state, they're not saying go in there and kill the president, kill the vice president, kill everybody in Congress and Washington, blah, blah, blah. They're saying to get them to relinquish some of their power over us so we, the people, have a voice. I didn't know what Netflix and chill meant until you told us.
Netflix and chill?
And Amy and I found Designated Survivor.
Okay.
All right. That show is insane. I don't know who wrote it. It came out in 2016, right? You said 2017?
Yeah, 2016.
Listen, if you watch Designated Survivor, it's like we're living today. It's like that show is alive today. If you haven't watched it, I don't want to spoil it because I just found it. Amy and I just got through with season 1.
Created by David Guggenheim.
It is insane, and it is accurate in today's world in 2024 about what can happen, how bad it can happen, and actually in the show, it's the president who is the designated survivor. He's actually an independent. And it's awesome to watch the show when he gets Republicans and Democrats to come together, create a new Supreme Court, create a new Congress. Watch this show. It's actually very good, and it's very applicable for today. But I just want to say that stop biting at the bait. The stuff they throw out at you at Facebook to make you fight and mad and angry. Listen, if some people may want abortion banned because of how they believe, but the moral of Project 2025 is not about I said abortion, I meant pornography. It's not about pornography. It's about keeping pornography out of a classroom of 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds. So read between the lines, read the meat. Don't just take the bait and start fighting and arguing and taking to social media about stuff that you don't know all the details to. Don't believe what they want you to believe. I had a very good friend that said this all the time. Don't let your enemies tell you who your enemies are.
Oh.
So let's be friends. Let's get along. Let's learn to like each other. Let's learn to listen to each other. Let's learn to engage each other. And we don't always have to agree. But as human beings, as humanity, if we just learn to respect each other and listen, there's a difference between listening and waiting to talk. If we just learn to listen, we can change the world. Between the Ribs with Jonathan Morris, Heather Hazelton, thank you for listening. Go to organicmeats.com, get a meat box. I'm going to ship you a prize. We're out of here. Huh? Oh, thank you. Perfect timing, by the way. Are you wearing a Budweiser shirt? Your papa's going to destroy you. I'm going to take a picture and send it to him.
I'm going to make sure he destroys you. Good job, Jonathan.
That was awesome timing for Brody. Because as I was saying that the world should disagree with, he barked. And Heather was like, even Brody doesn't like it.
I saw you guys recording, so I'm like, let me go to the back door.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh,
you could have
that's
jumped
why he
in.
barked. I was like, why do you bark with her leaving the room?
Yeah, no, I can't.
Nah, you're always, you can always come in. Heather knows how to pause and edit. How was that show, you think?
I think this is good.
All right.
Yeah.
And the way I did it, and you would have to, as you're editing it for Randy or whoever, if you could see, oh man, I could take this 7 minutes and put we don't have video. Oh yeah, it's all on YouTube.
Yeah, I'd have to, I need to go back and figure out how to edit that.
So is there a way on YouTube?
You know what? We are still on YouTube.
Fantastic. We love you, YouTube. Buy a steak box.
Yeah. Oh, and
YouTube. Alyssa, get back in here. Farm, faith, family, and future. This is the family. This is the future.
She's gonna have the future.
Just graduated school. She's gonna be a teacher. My dog, Alyssa.
I was like, are you guys recording? I was looking lights.
Yeah, we're still recording live on YouTube. Hey, come get your We the People t-shirt. Hit me up.
Or Linktree Morris Mafia.
There you go. Linktree Morris the Mafias.
That's hilarious.
I wonder what this